Hey everyone, and welcome back to Schmindle Unlimited, the podcast for reviews, rants, and ramblings about books from our favorite way to get books, the Kindle Unlimited universe. I'm one of your hosts, Amity.
And I'm Lauren.
And I'm Steph. And this week we read Regretting You by Colleen Hoover, which is our first Colleen Hoover for the podcast. Not Amity's first Colleen Hoover, not mine.
It was mine.
What was your first
It
Colleen
was my
Hoover?
very, I mean, I watched the movie with Blake Lively.
Okay.
I feel like that counts.
So.
But it's the first one I've read.
Oh, what did you think as your first Colleen Hoover?
I have just been very not wanting to jump on that bandwagon. I don't know why. I've been so don't want to read it. It was better than expected.
Yeah, this one was pretty good, I thought.
What's the
That's some of us who think that.
Of hers?
Verity is very popular.
How does this stack up compared to Verity?
Verity is very dark.
Okay.
It's very twisted, and there's a huge twist.
So is that one more suspense than this one?
Yes.
Okay.
I would call Verity a psychological thriller.
Yeah.
Got it.
Verity is like Housemaid.
Okay. So this is kind of different genre.
This is very, yes.
This is very, well, I wouldn't say it's Sunshine and Roses because bad things happen, but
yeah. So also, Lauren and I went to see the movie on Friday.
Oh.
Yeah. So we have some more commentary
we
to
do.
break towards this podcast.
Well, good. I'm excited to hear about that.
Okay, so how's everyone's week been? I've been absolutely reading nothing because I am in the school year and I was finishing up the other book this morning at 5 a.m. So
You go, girl. I think I'm out of my reading slump.
Oh, that's good.
I know.
Yay.
So I went and had a beach book weekend with our friend Kelda. And we were reading Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry, who we've read one of her books for the podcast before. This was our first romantasy. We each got to 85% before we got to the hotel for the weekend. And then we finished the book by the pool, and that was very fun.
Oh,
That's so fun. Did you plan to get to 85% together?
Yes. We were like, okay,
I
get to
love
85
that.
and stop. And Kelda got there on Monday. So she was waiting all week to finish the book. So
What a good friend. That's
It was
so fun that you
it was
guys
a
got
very-
together for the ending.
yeah, very good book. I would say it's very close to Fourth Wing level.
okay.
Wow.
It's very good. Not quite Fourth Wing, but close.
Is it KU?
Yeah. it is.
Okay.
Highly
I'm
recommend.
gonna look it up because I have been reading a good amount. I finished The Bodyguard. I read this book called Drawn Together. It was cute. It was a very fall book, but I think I'm ready for getting back into a romantasy fantasy type.
I would recommend that one.
book.
It's quite good.
I rolled my eyes at another the next episode book that we're reading, another sports romance. I kind of rolled my eyes. I was like, I'm not in the mood for a sports romance. And I'm normally very much in the mood for a sports romance. So I think we need a cleanse.
Oh,
There you
perfect.
go.
Okay, so let's get into Regretting You. Regretting You, it takes place in a small town in Texas. And chapter 1, we meet Morgan, and she is 17 or 18.
17. So this is a flashback.
Yeah, it's a flashback. She's kind of doesn't really feels empty. She has her boyfriend Chris in the car.
Who he's a lot of fun, but it seems like he doesn't quite get her.
Yeah. She has I don't know why I said best friend, but it's her sister Jenny and then her sister's boyfriend Jonah.
Who is best friends with Chris, Morgan's boyfriend.
So
Yes.
more of them just hanging out, and they're heading to a graduation house party. And Jenny mentions to Morgan, oh, she wants to have sex with Jonah because she's 16. She's Morgan's younger sister.
Mm-hmm.
And Morgan is like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Like I regret it.
Yeah.
And then Morgan comes to the realization that her period's late.
So she gets the test, and is it while they're at the party?
Yeah.
She's there and like not drinking and says she's gonna be DD, and Chris is like, you gotta come drink. You're only fun when you drink with me, and
that kind of like hurts her feelings.
Yeah.
But then don't worry, Jonah's there and he's
Jonah's
all
there.
sweet.
He's so sweet. And Jonah makes a comment like, are we dating? Like, how are we dating our exact opposites, both of them? Because Jenny's up there like playing drinking games with Chris.
Yeah. And then Morgan like is like, I kind of like this Jonah guy, but then she's like, I'm pregnant. Chris is pregnant with Chris's baby.
So then we jump to present day. Clara.
We're Clara's point of view, and
Clara is Morgan's daughter.
Yep.
17 years later. And she is 16 currently.
Yes. And she's like just driving in the car, chilling, listening to music.
And she drives by the guy that she's like had a crush on for years. He's just standing by like the city limit sign. And she stops and then backs up the car, and like he's been like avoiding her for a long time, like won't talk to her.
He moved his locker away from her so that he couldn't be near her and stuff like that. So she's all like,
I don't know why he hates me, but she ends up turning around and they talk, and
he asks her for help to move the city limit sign.
And the reason being is because the good pizza place won't deliver to his house because he's outside the city limit. So he just keeps systematically moving the sign like 20 yards every few days until he's going to move it past his house at some point so he can get the good pizza.
And so she gives him a ride home where she finds like her theater program. She wants to apply to drama school and she wants to be an actress.
He wants to apply to the same school for film school.
Yep. So they have that in common. And she's like, my parents would hate it and all this stuff.
While they're in the car, his girlfriend calls.
Oh yeah. And he says, I'm getting
a ride from some dude.
Oh man. So she meets his grandpa because she needs to pay her back for some flip-flops she broke. And the grandpa tells some funny stories about Miller. And Claire's heading back to her car and she gets an Instagram follow
from him right then and there.
And so she calls her Aunt Jenny. So Morgan, we go now to Morgan's point of view, who's been
current day.
Yeah, current day.
It's her birthday.
Everyone's like not nice to her.
No, like she's making
no one's ever nice to her.
Food.
No.
She's cleaning everything. And then we find out like that, her and Chris ended up getting married. He proposed after she got pregnant. But Jenny and Jonah broke up. And
yeah, Jonah just like left.
He moved away. He told no one.
High school graduation. It was totally okay that he moved away. The fact that
he didn't say goodbye.
Who cares?
I know.
Yeah.
But then Elijah's dad or someone died, and
no, Jonah's dad died. Jonah's dad died, and Jenny comes to the funeral.
Thank you. Sorry, Jonah.
Stand.
Yeah, and then she gets pregnant with their son Elijah.
Yes,
that's Elijah. And at this time, Elijah is 9 months old, and he's a really cute baby. But also, why hadn't Jenny been back to work yet? She took a long time. I mean, good for her. But Jenny's supposed to be going back to work the next day. She's a nurse. And Jonah and Morgan are just kind of awkward around each other.
Like they don't really talk, and there's just like awkwardness. And so Clara calls Jenny
while she's driving home.
Yeah, about her encounter with Miller, and she's like, "Don't tell my mom this," and all this stuff.
Even though Morgan can hear everything on speakerphone.
Yeah. And she says his last name, and her dad like flips out and was like, "You can't hang out with him. His dad is in jail and all this stuff."
A drug dealer. Even though Chris got drugs from his dad, so like
that's how you know,
right? Yeah. That's how you knew he was a drug dealer.
And then, so they're having like a lunch for Morgan for her birthday, and Lexi, who's Claire's best friend, makes an appearance.
She was the like comedic relief of this book.
Yeah, she's like on Tinder.
She's a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, she says like all these like
she's on Tinder and they asked, don't you have to be 18? And she's like, well, yeah, I am 18 on Tinder.
So they were having a little lunch and stuff. So we've come to find out that Morgan is watching Elijah when Jenny goes back to work tomorrow, the next day.
But she's going back to work early, like 4 days or like an incomplete week.
Yeah.
But
So
also,
like, oh, I'll just hang out with her. I don't do anything else.
I want to take 9 months off.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. How long did you take off after your kids? Yeah, Amity.
Well, I was like a baby. I was 25 when Caden was born, and financially we were infants. And so I took 8 weeks off when Caden was born.
Wow.
And 12 weeks off when Ellie was born.
Okay. 12 weeks is like standard-ish, right?
Standard. It still feels
not enough.
So young.
No.
Standard in the United States, whereas other countries gave you like a whole year.
Yeah. That gives a year to mothers and 6 months to dads.
Right?
Yeah, Europe gives a lot. I think we're the only country that we don't have required maternity leave.
It's so stupid.
And in
developed countries, yeah.
Yeah, in Florida, teachers, you don't have maternity leave. You have to use your sick.
Yeah, you don't get paid. And it was my 3rd year teaching.
Yeah.
Like you're guaranteed your job, but there's no paid leave.
Yeah.
Like I had short-term disability insurance and that paid for 6 weeks.
Which
after a 2-week waiting period. So you only got 4 weeks worth of pay.
Yeah. And it's not full pay, isn't it? It's like 60% or something.
It's 60%, but it's not taxed. So it's really close to full.
That's a fucking crime.
Yeah. Which is why a lot of teachers try and time their pregnancies over summer, because you still get short-term disability, but you weren't getting paid anyways.
Oh no.
So
well, anyway. Next morning, well, so they also do their birthday boards.
Yeah.
And
Morgan
those are cute. The little birthday vision boards.
That's a good idea. Where they come up with like what they want for like goals
for every year.
They make goals for each other.
Yes.
And Morgan asked her daughter to describe her in one word, and she like said dependable and
predictable.
Yeah, and she just like got so upset.
Yeah. So the next morning, Morgan doesn't make breakfast like she normally would, and comes out like, well, I'm sorry, I'm not dependable
or predictable
today.
Morgan's also feeling like she doesn't know who she is. She like out of high school got pregnant with Claire and just like has been Claire's mom, and she doesn't really have a passion. So her goal is to find her passion for this year. So Jenny brings Elijah over.
Clara then notices that Miller unfollowed her on Instagram. To have that be your like one and only thing you're worried about.
I know.
Right. For now.
I know. And it's so funny because like I was never in high school with Instagram. No. It was like MySpace, but you didn't really like notice any of that.
No. And like I had a cell phone in high school, never used it. It was great. But then Clara's best friend Lexi tells her that Miller and his girlfriend broke up, but then he still unfollowed her.
So Claire's getting some mixed messages right now.
Right. And then Jonah wants Clara and Miller to team up for this film project. And Clara's texting her aunt about the situation. And Jenny makes a comment to Clara via text, like, don't be the other girl. It's not worth it. And then just stops responding. And then we jump to Morgan's POV, and she gets a call from the hospital because Chris was in an accident. And she can't get a hold of Jenny.
I think the call normally came from the cops.
Yes.
Yeah.
From the cops.
She gets a call. And
But it was from the hospital this time.
I think so. Maybe.
No, like I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Yeah.
I just thought it was weird.
So she runs to the hospital and like she's trying to call Jenny. Jenny's not answering. And then Jonah shows up. rushing in because he got called that Jenny was in an accident. And it turns out they were together and no one knows why. They were both supposed to be at work. And Clara like calls the unit that Jenny works on. They're like, no, she was supposed to come back to work like tomorrow, not today.
So Claire's coming, and so they were like, we need to find a lie to her. So they were like, they were like, okay, just tell her dad had a flat tire and he got a ride from Jenny.
Because they both work at the same hospital.
Because they work at the same hospital. And then unfortunately, neither Chris nor Jenny make it. And they both die.
In this single car accident.
Yep.
Yeah. They don't give that much details about the car accident.
Yeah. It was Jenny's car, but Chris was driving.
Yeah.
And Jonah cut the brakes?
I don't think so, because Jonah didn't know.
Yeah.
So, I don't think so, but I did keep waiting for that turn of events because this is a Colleen Hoover book.
Amity was like, I know Colleen Hoover, and this is what's going to happen.
Right. Yes. And didn't. Spoiler alert, guys. But we have these questions like, why were they in the car? We don't know. And then,
I mean, we know, but
we know, but it's not confirmed yet. So then we have the funeral, and Morgan made it so that they were on different days.
Yeah, so
instead of a joint.
Jenny's then her dad's, and Claire is blaming herself for texting Jenny. She thinks she causes she thought she caused the accident because she was texting Jenny, and Jenny was texting and driving.
Not the case. But Clara ends up leaving her dad's funeral because she can't take it. This is
her second funeral on the second day.
Know.
Yeah.
And then Miller happens to be there and was like, they get in the car and they go to get, away. And she's like, I really need to get out of my head. I'd like to smoke weed. So Miller gets her weed and she fucking hates it.
Yeah. The best part is she's like turns to him. She was like, can you get me weed? And he was like, yeah. And she was like, and he was like, but I don't smoke it. And he's like, I
just know someone
who does smoke it.
Yeah. So they're hanging out. Miller tells her he's back with his girlfriend. And then Clara's mom shows up and is pissed for good reason, because she tracked her on her phone. And
and she notices
her eyes are red. She can tell that she's fucking high. I did love this part in the movie where she's getting out of the car high as fuck and walks up, and there's like all this food that people have dropped off at their house, and she stops and just grabs a cookie because she's got the munchies. So
we jump into Morgan's point of view, and she's like trying to figure out her finances, and that she can't live off of Chris's life insurance, so she's going to have to get a job. And well, I guess that passion, that whatever she wants is coming up
down the drain.
Clara and Morgan are not speaking. It's like extremely awkward, like the tension. And
then Jonah shows up and he's like, hey, where's Chris's car?
And he's like, why were they together? Like, we need to know what the hell's going on? Like, were they in this car together?
So Morgan tracks his car.
And it's at a hotel.
And Jonah goes into the hotel room and brings out a bag, and it's full of like lingerie, and so proof that they were having an affair.
Yeah.
And then Morgan basically has like a panic attack, and Clara is like wondering why they went off together. So now Clara is getting suspicious of her mom and Jonah.
So it was so funny while I was reading this book, and you first get like introduced to this affair that her husband and her sister were having. I don't know why it didn't hit me. Like, I understand it's like her sister and her husband. Watching the movie, I was like, holy shit, like
this is fucked up.
This is really messed up. Like, this is her best friend, her sister, having an affair with her husband.
Yeah.
And like, it was kind of, I was like, I didn't, until I had to see the movie and like actually see like people like acting it out, I was like, oh my gosh.
Fucked up.
Yes.
Then we jumped back to Clara's point of view, and she's grounded right now, but she leaves the house, heads to the movie theater where Miller works, and she like goes into one of the movies eating stale popcorn by herself, and she's like crying. She's not having a great time. But then they talk and they have like this cute little back and forth.
He like rubs her little makeup off with a little tissue.
Yeah. So like just kind of cute. But then we jump back to Morgan's POV, and she is awakened by pounding on the door, and it is Jonah with Elijah, and he says he can't do this, and just leaves Elijah with her
She says Elijah is Chris's.
because Elijah has Chris's
dimples.
smile.
Yep, has the dimples.
I mean, saw that coming. It's so fucked up. So fucked up.
It's so messed up. I hate it.
Yeah.
But okay, so like I kind of understood where Jonah was coming from. Like,
Oh my God, 1,000%. 1,000%. Jonah was sketch because remember, while everybody was alive, and he definitely thought Elijah was his kid,
yes,
like he got Morgan her favorite flavor Jolly Ranchers for
Yes,
her
the
birthday. And so yeah, and like I got the vibe that he kept like, hey, like trying to like inch back in a little bit so that he could probably ask that stupid question again.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to like Jonah, except for the fact that the seeds were planted while Chris and Morgan were still, and while Chris and Jenny were still alive.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then like, cause he did it, he did the right thing. He left. He like, nope, they're gonna be there. But then he came back and started doing it again. And I never got fully on board Team Jonah because of the way it started.
Yeah. I know, but like when he left Elijah, I understand. Like that's not I would be pissed. Like she kind of used him at his dad's funeral.
That kind of did entirely. What like
Then
she
he
sucks
lost-
so badly.
He lost sight of the fact that like Morgan is also going through
Yes,
this.
I know.
She lost her husband and sister. She was also cheated on, and now you're leaving her with another child that's also not hers. But
Yeah.
in reality is of the two of them, blood related to the kid.
Yeah.
Not like it's her nephew
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
and her daughter's half brother.
Right? Oh God. Oh.
Well, and the crazy part too is they don't want to tell Clara any of this, which I understand at the moment, but like you should have probably a plan of some sort.
I'm sorry. How many books have we read where miscommunication is the entire problem? All of them.
Yeah.
This like mother, even like watching the movie, the mother-daughter, like I was like, oh my gosh.
It was bad.
Yeah. Everyone's mean to Morgan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
What's that show? Everybody loves Raymond. Everyone's mean to Morgan.
Yeah. And then Clara
It's
kind of
like
confronts Jonah, like, why aren't you picking up your fucking kid?
yeah, because Claire's so confused. She's like, Jonah just left. He isn't at school.
mhm.
And then Lexi's like, yeah, my dad did the same thing. He got up and left. And Clara's
So
like,
sad.
no, like that's not Jonah. Like he's not that guy.
It's not teacher uncle.
We go back to Morgan's point of view, and she's freaking out now because she was doing her life insurance with her and Clara.
Like,
but
well,
no.
the money's gonna run out even faster now.
And she was like, I can't get a job because I have to take care of this baby.
The baby had a place in daycare.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't. Where was all of Jenny's money going to?
Right? I wondered that too. Maybe she didn't have any. Fuck her.
She just had a 9-month maternity leave. Of course she didn't have any.
No, that's true.
And then we jump back to Clara, and she convinces Jonah, like, go get your fucking son, cleans his house. All the while, Claire is still blaming herself for their deaths. But she is able to convince Jonah to go back and get his
And she was basically like, "You think you're going through shit. We're going through shit too." So
yeah, she kind of wakes Jonah up, which I appreciate. She was wise beyond her years in this situation.
So we jump back to Morgan's point of view. Jonah's all of a sudden in her living room apologizing to Elijah, grabs Elijah. All of a sudden Morgan's like, where's Clara? Also, she has her on Find My App, so I don't understand. And she's like, you can't see Miller anymore. And Clara's like, A, I was getting Jonah back. B, I was cleaning his house so that because he's bringing home a baby. And then like all of a sudden, like Morgan starts hammering at this door
That she hates. It swings back and forth. And it just absolute chaos, essentially.
I love that part.
Yeah, Clara's like
So relatable.
I was confused too. And then we jump back to Clara, who she has discovered Starbucks. So that's how she is avoiding the house. She's just going to Starbucks and hanging out there.
She's like, I'm just going to
Yeah.
drink all the coffee.
And then Miller Starts following her on Instagram again. Okay, first of all, like the emotional yo-yo here. This guy needs to figure it out. And he's messaging her like, "What are you doing? Where are you at?" And she says Starbucks, and he is there 20 seconds later because he saw her already.
He lets her know that he no longer has a girlfriend, so Shelby's out of the picture. And
they tell each other like, "Oh, I've had a crush on you for a long time."
Yeah, they start talking about life, what's happening at home. She's finally able to like communicate with somebody since she can't communicate with her mom. And she talks about college.
His grandpa has cancer and 6 months to live, and then they kiss.
Yeah.
You know, because that's how that usually goes.
And she like is like, "Okay, are you kissing me because like I'm a rebound?" And he was like, "No, I broke up with Shelby weeks ago.
She was my backup plan, not you."
Yeah, I broke up with my girlfriend a year, 2 weeks ago, so of course you're not the rebound.
I only started dating her because you were dating someone, so I couldn't date you in the first place.
So
But now that your life's a total disaster and your dad died and your aunt died, you look like this is the perfect time to get into something.
To start dating.
Hey, at least she has somebody to talk to because nobody is telling her the truth.
Yeah.
Well, she's not talking to Lexi.
Yes, yeah. But I don't think, yeah, that is
She
true.
needed a friend.
She should have, yeah.
She got a boyfriend. She really needed a friend.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then, okay, I'm going to jump past a little bit.
Yeah.
But then we jump to school, and Claire's mom just like shows up because she's applying to a job at the school. Miller
To be a substitute.
Huh?
To be a substitute, I think.
Yeah.
And then Miller runs into them and like how young Morgan looks. And Morgan says to him, "Us Miller women," or not Miller, what's their last name? Whatever their last name is, "we're very fertile." Like, oh boy. So she leaves without actually applying for the job.
Yes, because they get into like a yelling argument, and that's when Morgan is like, "Well, you know, all that advice you ever got from Aunt Jenny was really from me."
And Claire is upset because you just ruined the memory of my Aunt Jenny, who I love more than anything.
Right. She was the most perfect person in the whole world.
Whereas this huge secret of your aunt cheated on everyone.
I did relate to Morgan in wanting to like preserve that.
Yeah.
That image. But it's also so hard because like just for you want her to know the truth about like she has a half brother. So
yeah, but you don't like how old were you when you were comfortable, or maybe it's always a shock no matter when you learn it, like that the adults you hold in high esteem are like human too.
Yeah.
Like I feel like 16 is too young.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. And especially because they just also both passed away.
Right. Yeah, certainly right after they die is not the time.
Yeah.
Like eventually you can realize like, people were human.
But they all should have been in therapy. And that's that. But then we jump to Jonah and Morgan. They're at the house together and they find a toolbox because he needs tools to fix the door that she just doesn't like. And in the toolbox are letters to Chris from Jenny that are locked up. And then there's this painting that Jenny insisted she buy Chris for his birthday that she always found hideous, and they destroy it with food and they rip it.
They smear mayo on it and ketchup, and then Jonah finally tells her the truth about the reason he saves Watermelon Jolly Ranchers from Morgan. And they have like this moment, and then Clara walks in and is like, "What the hell?"
Wait, did they kiss at this point?
No, they just like almost do. Also, Amity, so out of the three of us, who's reading those letters? I think I would open those up.
I'm too nosy.
Well, I don't know in that moment if I would have read them. Like, I'd like to think I would have the emotional intelligence to go, this is not something I should do at this moment. I need a little bit of distance, a little bit of clarity, the like perfect amount of alcohol. Like I don't want to say a lot of it. And then like I probably need,
Plus?
Yeah.
but yeah, no, not Amity Plus. Um, and like I probably need the right friend or somebody not in the room with me, but in the room next door.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna need to talk about this, and I don't know when. I need to process this by myself, but I'm gonna need you there immediately.
I would just like would be so curious, like, what was the extent of this affair? I obviously like 9 months plus 9 months is 18 months, so it's almost 2 years.
The
Like,
math ain't mathin'.
you know what I mean? Like, how long did this start in high school? Did this start,
Well, like, and so they were letters, but they probably were not in mailed envelopes.
No.
I don't
But
know.
like, do you think they dated them at the top, like we learned how in school?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
September 4th, 1997.
Oh no, but I think it would give like last night. I don't know. I
It
don't know.
almost seemed like they
You
were.
never get to know what the letters say.
I know. I
Yeah.
almost thought they were like birthday cards throughout the years, or I don't know. Don't know.
Oh, or like
That's how I envisioned it. Like just reading it was like, this is a birthday card with a love note in it. I don't know.
Yeah.
The fact that they are letters, I find fascinating because it's Instagram time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I felt like they were around our age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's funny. The opening scene is them jamming to the Killers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, I hated how this book made me feel inside. So
Did it make you feel inside?
I mad at everybody. I didn't like these characters. I felt like they were such jerks. I don't like reading about everybody hates Morgan. I don't like it it hurt inside to think about the betrayal people could have. And I hated the idea that Morgan for so long chose everybody but herself. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
that, she lived 16 years, potentially longer, without like realizing she mattered. Like it's not like Clara was 6 and she's like, oh man, this kindergarten and first grade stuff has been totally lame hanging out during the day. Like she was in high school, she could drive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like,
She kind of became like complicit. Like, this is my life. And it wasn't until Clara turned 16 where she was like, well, I need to find my passion.
yeah, I don't know. I worry so much for people who lose themselves in other people, who like completely define themselves by what they are to other people versus who they are on their own. And I very much wish and want everybody to like be comfortable with yourself. And I think it happens, like I don't want to say more often because like, there's so many more opportunities and balancing a lot of things is so much more common. But like oftentimes those things happen because you had time to sit with yourself and wonder and think.
Yeah.
But we fill so much of our time not sitting with ourselves and thinking in our own personal thoughts, but with scrolling and keeping up with the Joneses and
And all that. Yeah.
right.
It was actually interesting because in the film, she does have a passion. Like, she completely redecorates the house and makes it her own.
So it added to, because if that hadn't happened in the movie, I'd be like, wow, there was zero character development.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like interesting because she does find her passion. And
Yeah.
Jonah like mentions it. He was like, I always remember you like kind of like interior designing on napkins or drawing rooms and stuff like that. And so then she completely redoes the house on the inside and gets rid
I
of
wanted to know, so in the movie, they didn't bring up the financial aspect at all.
I was just gonna say, like, oh, with the life insurance policy, that wasn't gonna last very long.
They didn't bring it
I
up.
kept wondering that when we're watching the movie. I'm like, how is she paying for this?
Yeah. But it was interesting because in the book, while I was reading it, they were always constantly talking about her cooking. So I was curious if she would go into like culinary school or something, or if she would end up going to work at a restaurant and stuff. Because they kept talking about how
She makes the best cake.
Yeah, they were talking about how good her food was and stuff like that.
But then we jump a couple chapters, and Morgan and Jonah finally kiss, and that is when Clara walks in on them, and she is livid. She is pissed. She locks herself in her room, and then she texts Miller to come over and bring a condom. They were gonna wait to have sex until after prom, but she says, "Fuck that, we're doing it now."
And it's as awkward as any 16-year-old who just lost her her dad, and her aunt, and she just looks virginity
because, well, she really just did this as like payback to her mom.
At least she tells Miller the truth, I guess, and he's like, "What the?"
After
he's pissed as he should be. He's like, "You just took advantage of me," and this is where Clara really got to me, because like, you were making all of these decisions, and you like. These are the consequences of your own actions.
Yeah. But she's also 16 years old. Like, that's
like, your frontal lobe is not even close to being fully
I think
developed.
about like stuff that I did when I was 16, and I was like, oh my gosh. Well, actually, just even today, I sent a picture to my best friend. I was like, and it was like us going to a college toga party. And I was like, we literally went to Walmart and got sheets and wrapped it around us. And we thought we were so cool drinking with Walmart sheets around us.
You were so cool.
Like, looking back at that, like, what were you thinking?
You had fun. Okay.
Belt. Like, you know, we like scrumpled up and like did the half thing and like and had a little belt. And I'm like, we went out like this. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. So Clara convinces Miller, like, okay, just stay. He stays the night. He was just going to stay until she falls asleep, but that didn't happen. So the next morning, Morgan goes to try and talk to Clara, and she doesn't answer the door, so she opens it, and there.
Oh wait, Morgan goes to try to talk to Clara because her neighbor said,
"Oh yeah, I forgot about
sketchy
that
happening going on." And Clara gave her mom such crap for it's Claire's birthday, but she gave her mom such crap. And like, I'm sorry, your mom did not come in here because it was the morning and forgot it was your birthday. Your mom came in here because the neighbor was like, "Hey, there was a kid scaling your house yesterday," or something like that. Like, "Hey, it looks like someone tried to come in that window." Like, that's why the mom came in. It was such crap how it was like, "You forgot my birthday." Like, absolutely not. She did not forget the birthday. She was distracted by safety and home intrusion.
Yeah.
So she gets in a crap load of trouble, but then just leaves.
And she like goes to school.
Again, there are no consequences of her actions at this point.
Yeah. I think that like they're both like in this awkward situation where they're trying to grow and like they don't know how to grow. Yeah. It's like,
yeah.
So Miller brings Clara coffee, and Clara starts texting in Jonah's class, and he like tries to talk to her, and she like speaks back to her and throws her phone
and breaks it because that's a smart idea. So Jonah makes her go in the hallway, and she is expecting him to like send her to the principal's office or something like that. And instead he just talks to her and like gives her a hug. And
he was like, you need to like talk to her. Or you need to talk to your mom and stuff. And so they usually do a birthday dinner for Clara. So she invites Jonah, and she's like, everything will be fine. And she invites Miller too. Awkward.
And Jonah gets her a new phone because he's such a nice guy.
Yep. And so we're at the dinner, and everything is awkward.
Super duper awkward. Claire's got an attitude. Miller is like in the middle of it, and at some point, doesn't he say "fuck this" and just leaves?
Yeah. So he like heads out. He leaves. He's like, I'm not gonna be this like going in between you and your mom. Like, and she like starts crying.
But I thought right after these two important people to you died, we could start this responsible, mature relationship, and you're not taking it that way. So I need to leave. I was like, I don't feel bad. Like, I'm supposed to feel bad for you, Miller. I don't. Like,
I honestly, this sounds bad. Like, I know people died, but I had trouble feeling bad for any of these characters.
I felt bad for Morgan. This book should have been called Everybody Hate Morgan. It should have been called Morgan should have been in touch with zero of these people after high school.
Yeah.
Not Chris, not Jenny. I realized it was her sister. Like,
Well, Chris would have been gone after that stupid drunk comment. You're only fun when you're
If she
drunk.
wasn't pregnant.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
but Morgan was like, "Nah, this guy's a total asshole and doesn't treat me nicely. But I guess I should raise his kid and stay with him forever because I don't know, for some reason in 2020, like 2002, nobody had heard of co-parenting.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Everybody hates Morgan and it's kind of Morgan's fault.
Well, Morgan's
I don't love Colleen Hoover books. I don't like any of the characters.
So Miller leaves. He doesn't break up with Clara. He's just kind of like, we just need to like take a break it up.
and she's upset.
And she invites Lexi over and they go through the wine and they get super, super drunk. Morgan goes to find, she's looking at old photos and then she realizes she's in love with Jonah.
So
And
she goes to his house and then do they sleep together here?
Yes, they sleep together.
Then they sleep together.
So she comes back and Lexi and Clara have been drinking all her wine.
Nice.
She takes Lexi's keys and Lexi's mom has to come pick her up. And Claire and Morgan are having a conversation. Morgan grounds her from everything. Like she's grounded from everything.
But it actually was like a decent, like, I don't know. There was a little bit of a breakthrough here, kind of.
This was like their first like communication.
This was the part where Clara says it was my fault they died.
Yes.
And then the next morning, Morgan confronts her when she's super hungover, like, hey, you mentioned something last night when you were drunk. Like, what did you mean? And Clara finally tells her, like, they are dead because of me. I was texting Aunt Jenny while she was driving, and she's like, no.
She was like,
Jenny wasn't driving. Your dad was driving the car. And Clara kind of puts it together, like, wait, why were they together?
And where is Dad's car?
Yeah.
And why'd you go to a hotel?
Asking all the right questions.
And so
does she tell her here, like at this point, that her dad was cheating on?
So what happens is they do the birthday board for Clara first. And Clara has 3 goals. I want my mother to see my boyfriend for who he truly is. I want my mother to be honest with me, and I want to be honest with her, and I want to be an actress, and I want my mom to support that dream. Those are her 3 dreams. And that's when Morgan is talking, clarifies that Jenny wasn't driving. Clara starts to like somehow piece things together and becomes very upset. And then
I feel like Morgan neither confirms nor denies.
Yes. And then she realizes she was like, is Elijah my half brother? And
girl.
And then she was like, I need Miller. And Morgan takes her to Miller.
Yeah. And even though she's grounded, she's like, okay, like you need the person that you need in this situation. I'm going to give that to you.
Yeah.
Is this guy that 2 weeks ago you guys just started hanging out?
Yeah.
Claire tells Miller everything and
she's sitting in the theater. She's crying.
Yeah. She's starting to understand her mom. They're able to have a conversation. They talk about the affair and talk about Morgan and Jonah, and they kind of decide to have a clean slate. And then they're all together. Elijah's saying Dada. Claire's like, hey, what are we going to tell Elijah? And he's like, we're going to tell Elijah the truth about Claire slowly starting to accept Morgan and Jonah together. And then Morgan tears all the letters and throws them out.
So proud of her.
And then we jump a few months later and we're showing the film project. They make a mockumentary, which is kind of like The Office. Gramps is in it.
I know.
Everyone is really confused about it except Jonah. He loves it. But Miller then announces he has another movie, and it's little clips of him and Claire and him asking her to go to prom at different parts.
So there was one clip, I think this was in the book. It was in the movie for sure. And it's him at the sign that he was moving the day that Clara stopped.
Oh, yes, I loved this part.
And he was like, if you stop and come back, like, I'm going to take you to prom. If you don't, then,
we're not meant to be.
And sure enough, Clara had turned around. So it was all the way back at that point. It was so cute.
They show when Miller first notices Claire at the play. Gramps is
like
filming.
years ago.
Yep. And then they talk about how Miller can't go to school because he doesn't have money and he needs to take care of Gramps. And then Gramps, who's throughout the book has been saying, like, you're going to inherit air. You're going to inherit air.
That's all I have is air.
Yeah. Come to find out, he has, like, his heir is worth $250,000.
So he has air rights, whatever the hell that means.
Is that a real?
So, yes. The way that I read it, and I have heard of this, is basically you own the rights to the view. Like nothing can be built on top of whatever is there.
And Gramps,
unless they purchase the air rights.
He owns
like that space, that vertical space.
He owns it in Manhattan.
In New York, in Union, like Union Station or something.
Yes.
So that's some prime real estate.
So he's gonna cash it in and have a caretaker, and then pay for Miller's schooling. And then they're talking about prom, and that's how it ends.
And that's the movie. So we've got some themes and tropes. We've got mother-daughter relationship, betrayal, grief, second chance romance. It's dual POV. Favorite characters, ladies?
I liked Miller. I thought he was a good character. I thought he was a good.
He was the best one.
Yeah.
Because like for all of the like critiques I have of him, he's a 16-year-old guy. Like
yeah, exactly.
I did like Jonah.
I wanted to like Jonah.
I felt bad for Jonah.
I didn't feel that bad for Jonah.
None of them were like, oh my God, I loved that character. So
I liked Mel. You loved Lexi.
I did like Lexi because
Gramps was my favorite.
Oh.
And I was so happy he didn't die. I thought for certain Gramps was gonna die.
No.
And he didn't, and that made me happy.
So spice rating, was this close door? Like, I don't remember.
Yeah, there wasn't many.
Like maybe one.
No, yeah.
One pepper.
Okay, Amity. Out of all the Colleen Hoover books you've read, this is better than the last one.
This is probably my favorite Colleen Hoover book that I've read.
You didn't have to read it during daylight.
Yeah,
I didn't have to read it during daylight. But I didn't like. This is such a big level of betrayal. Like I didn't like it. Hurt to read.
Yeah, it was
You felt
the emotion.
Yes, I felt so bad. I felt so bad for everybody.
I mean, I guess that is kind of the purpose of books, to make you feel something.
Yeah.
I don't like to feel bad.
No.
Like, so, because I'm not growing. Like this isn't historical fiction. This isn't putting me in the perspective of like someone less fortunate or whatever. Like remember, I don't know, did you guys read American Dirt?
Yes.
Like I felt bad, or educated. I felt bad, but I was like, here's these life experiences that are important because people live them every day. I'm not growing as a person because I read this book. Like I'm not a more well-rounded human being because I read and felt bad for these shady characters. Like, so I don't, and maybe that's why, like, I don't mind feelings for book characters, but like, let me grow because of them.
Yeah. No growth happened.
I'm not a better human because I read this book.
So out of 10, what are you giving it?
A 5.
Same, 5. Steph?
I'm going to give it, I actually really enjoyed this. I read it pretty quickly, so I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Wow.
I really
I'm surprised to hear the 5 from you, Lauren.
Not my favorite. I didn't hate it, but not my favorite.
The movie was really good. It was very similar to the book, though.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't like the movie.
Oh, really? I liked it. I don't know.
It was like the book to a T.
Yes, it was very similar to the book.
The acting was fine. It was not great. There were a lot of, I think one thing that I found very weird was there was minimal like background music. So it was just like silence and them talking.
Oh, weird.
It was weird.
Yeah.
That was something that
was it like low budget?
No, it was
it seemed like it.
I don't know. I like the movie, and it's so funny because by critics, it's doing pretty terribly, but by like viewers, people love it. So like,
It's I don't think I need to watch this again.
Oh, see, I like the actress who played Clara, and I like the actor who played. The only one I didn't like was Dave Franco, who played Jonah. He was a little. I felt like he was awkward, but I guess that kind of fit Jonah's personality.
Jonah's awkward.
I had trouble because I feel like there wasn't great chemistry between the characters, like between the actors, and it was a bit forced.
Clara and Miller are dating in real life.
They were fine. I mean, they were fine.
The actors.
I just found their relationship just.
Yeah.
They're 16 and I'm like, okay, you're acting like you're 25 with the things that you're doing and saying. And I'm putting like thinking of myself at 16 and I'm like, that would never happen. I don't know. I'm glad that you liked it.
Yes, I enjoyed it.
I'm very happy that you enjoyed it.
I'm glad because it was your pick. I would have been mad if you picked it.
I didn't
Colleen Hoover and we didn't like it.
Yeah. No, I also like it. I enjoy Colleen Hoover books. Like I've read a couple of her books. I don't read like all of them. Like I have a friend who's like a huge Colleen Hoover fan and she's read all of them, but I also very much enjoy when books become movies because it's interesting to me.
You really do.
That's
your
favorite. Yeah.
So what is our official rating, Steph?
Oh, it's a 5.83.
Oh, we're really dragging that down.
Yeah.
So sorry.
That is not high for us.
No.
So, hopefully our next book does better.
Hopefully.
It's a little bit of a hockey romance called Lucky Shot by Rebecca Jenshak. And I actually we read one of her books
we did for the podcast.
Episode 11, yeah.
So, and there's a little connection to this one.
A little bit minor, but it's there.
Yeah. So some family trees going on.
They were minor connections that we'll talk about soon in the next episode. And I hope you listened to that episode. Thanks for listening to this episode of our reviews, rants, and ramblings. Remember, if you read this book and review it on Amazon or Goodreads, please include that Schmindel limit. Oh my gosh, sent you. And if you wouldn't mind a quick review on your podcast platform, we would be forever grateful. Have a great week-ish, and we can't wait to read, review, rant, and ramble about the next book with you. Bye.